Tragedy at a Cirque du Soleil show in Florida over the weekend, in Tampa, Florida to be specific. An experienced performer died after plunging onto the stage during an aerial straps routine.
Is that where they do the swing thing?
Isn't everything the swing thing?
I don't fucking know. When you
Cirque
get
du
with the
Soleil?
they have a trampoline underneath, Michael?
Yeah, they got pools and trampolines and swings and all sorts of shit.
Was it in front of people?
Yeah, it was.
Oh wow, that makes it more exciting.
Ryan Hughes here, ladies and gentlemen, just sort of getting across who he is and what he's about in the first 3 seconds.
I'm not sure that all the families and children in the audience would agree with your assessment of that.
Fucking brutal
They said
intro.
One of the most experienced Cirque du Soleil performers, and something that is considered one of the least dangerous things that they do in the show, as far as I can tell, and I'm sure you guys can have a field day with this, he only fell about 20 feet. I guess it was...
20... If you land on
it depends where you land.
If you land on your head, 20 will do it.
Yeah, but Jake Brown, go up.
Yeah, Jake Brown. Yeah, well,
Jake.
we're not talking.
That was like 40 feet. And if you watch Supercross, you watch Weston Pike. That was probably about 60 feet.
Wait, what about?
But we're
what Weston Pike
crashers.
60 feet?
We're trained crashers. What?
When did Weston Pike? When he whipped out over that triple?
When he caught his foot off the triple and boom, he flew off the bike. Off the takeoff.
Didn't Chad Reed send himself into the fucking moon too?
Oh yeah, Chad Reed on the outdoor one might have had everybody beat, right? Because he just sailed, but he got up, but he hit the transition.
He got kind of lucky.
He didn't hit the flat bottom.
Yeah,
That's right.
He hit tranny.
He didn't land a flat.
Yeah, he hit tranny for sure.
Big difference.
He got a little lucky there.
We're talking 3 guys here that have had experience with hitting flatter, missing flatter, and yes, it does make a fucking huge difference.
Yes.
If you get a downhill slide. But when you're in the air, for Chad Reed, that crash that we're talking about, in the air, like your actual adrenaline dump, for him was probably up there with one of the better ones.
Oh, because he's got time to think about it.
Well, no, for a second he would have gone, oh, I am fucking for sure dead.
Yeah.
And then he went, wait a minute. I'm going to land down that bank bit down there.
This is perfect.
I might even be back in the race, but he had a fucking good whole second of,
yeah.
But as all you know, like when you talk about these big crashes or these big moments, I'm like, how do you explain it? And I only the way I can explain it, because like when you think about those big ones you've had, they still bring up butterflies, even though they're fucking 10 years ago. I must be like being molested. Like it never goes away.
Well, I've done both.
No, have you?
I've had both. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so then you know.
No, molested's worse.
We go
Is
to
it?
action.
never go away. It's always in your psyche,
Yeah.
It's like serious shit. I have some ones that I'm just, I don't even want to think about.
Yeah, I'll throw come up short a couple more times if I could get those dick suckings out of there. Those are tough.
Or you roll down jumps paralyzed, and you're like, yeah, that sticks with you.
See, you had one a long time ago where it was an outdoor moto one where you was a jump and then it was down a long hill and you jumped way further, too far down to the very bottom and exploded. That was you, right?
That was Doug Henry.
It wasn't
right?
you?
Probably
You've never over jumped something to pass.
I've never over jumped anything. I've been so clean and perfect.
That's a lie. You're a maniac. I remember because you said that I was a dangerous person on a dirt bike, and I remember what a compliment that was.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
From me, yeah.
Because I wasn't trying to. I never wanted a pat on the back to say, "Hey, man, you look like Jeremy McGrath." I'm aware of what I look like on a dirt bike, but I do pride myself on being a madman, and I got props from the maddest man in motocross. Really, I mean, you were there. You were like, dude, fucking what the fuck?
Yeah, and then you got a good nickname after that. So from me.
Well, was it Snowflake?
That's
right.
Because he's so tough and gnarly.
I like Snowflake.
Raw, and then I'm like, dude,
I'm gonna use that.
Fuck it, your name's Snowflake, man.
Yeah.
And it stuck. He even put it on his pants.
Yeah, Snowflake on the back.
Yeah, when I was really hot in moto.
Yeah. There goes Snowflake.
Kawasaki, KTM were fucking trying to get
knocking on that door. Really.
Suzuki had me for a little bit. Everyone was up my ass. Kerry Hart, Ricky Carmichael, got to get you on the team. I'm like, fuck off. Give me some money, you pricks.
Yeah, you know my name. I'm Snowflake.
That's right. Snowflake doesn't sign shit for less than 7 digits or so. I don't know.
$7.
Wait, $7. That's what I deserve on a track. Yeah, but
I'm sorry, real quick. You're saying that you don't forget those moments. How would you compare that to probably a lot of people listening have been in a fairly decent car crash?
I think the difference is with a car crash, if you're man, it's going to sound cocky, but if you're an athlete and you're in a car crash, you don't go into shock. You watch it happen. So I feel like with Moto, it'd be like if you were on the back and I fucked up, it would be like being in a car crash because you didn't know what was happening or that it was what was coming for you. When you ride Moto and you fuck up, to me, it's when I got into Moto like hard when I moved to America, and then there were motocross tracks that had giant jumps in America. They don't have that in Australia. There was like a law against it because people could kill themselves. So in America, there's like doubles and triples like I've seen on TV, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm all about it. And then when I first encountered doing it incorrectly, I realized that I'd never had this much time to think about what is coming for me. In skateboarding, even at the mega ramp, that was similar because that's you could be in the air for a couple seconds and know that you were dead. In skateboarding on a vert ramp, it's really like even when you go 10 foot high, it's like 1 second, and you're working so hard that you don't, and you never get to fuck up that hard. Moto, you can go rah and go oh, and because you don't have to have that much talent in your wrist to make the bike go that fast. In skateboarding, you have to use your body to send yourself. So you kind of had to be good to go that fast in the first place. I was nowhere near good enough to have those bikes, and I would just be like, run, and go, oh, is that bad? And then like these crazy crashes that
it's almost the same with snowboarding, like with big air jumps.
Yeah, you guys did the same thing.
Well, yeah, but like I always felt more comfortable spinning, rotating over like an 80-foot jump than I did straight airing, because you straight air it and you're just fucking looking at the knuckle the whole time where you're gonna go over it or shit. When you're spinning, you're not thinking the whole time. The trick you got to do, you leave it. And you're in rotation, so you're not really looking at anything. I
also know for a fact that spinning takes, you cut away from... If you go straight, the wind gets under you and changes where you are.
Yeah.
If you spin, you cut through the wind.
Yep.
I always... Backside 360 over the mega ramp is easier than a straight air over the mega ramp. Because as soon as you take off, the wind gets under your board and starts to act like a sail.
So can wind get under your board at 1 foot off the snow, or no?
Not on the snow because they're stuck to it.
Yeah, we're in.
It's skateboarding.
Because that's as high as I get on a snowboard, like 1 foot.
Oh, he's got the fucking jokes today, doesn't he?
Yeah,
yes, but I told him before the show, he's he doesn't want to race anymore because he got it out of his system.
Yeah.
Like I was telling him how I want to race and all that stuff, and he was like, I'm not.
Well, you know what everyone does once they get out of the system? You put dresses on.
Yeah, you put dresses on and you become a gay cowboy.
See what you fucking done, dingo? Now I'm the gay cowboy to fucking everybody.
Snowflake, the gay cowboy.
Oh, no.
We need to get you a little hat, like a cowboy sheriff hat, but it just says Snowflake.
Yeah, you get me that little hat. See what happens.
Yeah, see, but the thing is with the car, you have like a whole cage around. You have like this.
With age comes the cage, they say.
With a motorcycle, especially motocross, like everything you do, you stick. Road race, there's speed and you slide. This and that, mega ramp or whatever, or half pipe, you can kind of slide down. I've seen you guys kill yourselves, but with motocross, it's always like you stick, because the dirt you don't slide, and so those tough parts, like for me, when I broke my back, I went head first into a jump, and it paralyzed me from the neck down, and so I rolled down the jump, just watching my arms flop, and I just sat there looking at my arms. I couldn't move my body, and I was just screaming that, oh my God, it fucking finally happened! It finally happened! It finally happened! Like,
because it happens to you guys.
That's the worst. That's the biggest fear in all motocrossers' mind, is being paralyzed.
Right.
It's almost like you'd kind of almost rather die, but it's a worst fear, and it happened, and it still like brings butterflies to me, and I remember it to a T because it didn't knock me out.
You were awake the whole time.
I was awake the whole time, and that happened, and I broke T2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then went paralyzed again. It came back after a few minutes. I was like, okay, oh shit. And then in the hospital, went paralyzed again for like 7 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah.
And they had to rush me in the hospital, or the emergency room, take a hematoma off, and then the next day they put, 2 rods, 11 screws. So the thing is,
hematoma in your spine.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it went paralyzed all the way from down, and then so when they took me in the emergency room, because they had to get it ready, so it took such a long time, and I'm sitting there just grabbing my dick and going, oh my God.
Why are you grabbing your dick?
Because it didn't work.
Right.
And I couldn't feel it.
And that was mesmerizing.
Oh my God!
It's like somebody else was touching it.
Yeah, and I was. I'm like, and so.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You called me a gay cowboy. Fuck you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So then, when they took the hematoma off, they, when I kind of came to, and the nurses are like, "Oh, you okay? You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes."
Oh, because you can feel your dick again.
I can feel my ding ding.
Yeah.
My ding ding was working, and then that's very important for a man.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, imagine.
So, when you get all those things broken at that, and that was like, I know everyone, it's not like we're really old, it's just things got better way quicker. Like, I feel like when you broke that, they weren't as good as they are now when it comes to repairing people. And I feel like even you, because I follow you on Instagram, I feel like your injuries have made you, like, whatever you did to get yourself back in shape, because I can tell when you're training all these little fools. I mean, these are Supercross guys. I've said before, I don't know, I mean, I know I'm into Moto, and I haven't driven NASCAR, I'm not a fucking basketball player, but I've played pretty much everything. I got a pretty good range on what's hard and what isn't. Moto, because I've done MMA, cardio-wise, injury-wise, like when things go wrong, it's right up there, man. The only one, and I haven't done it, so I can't say, where I think you might have an argument, is bull riding. Because I'm like, you come off that thing will fucking rip your face off. So I respect that. I feel sorry for the bull, but I respect that. But cardio-wise...
But it's an 8 minute, it's an 8
exactly.
second thing. Like, if you look at Daytona, Christian Craig's heart rate was 212.
Right, but is that 212 for 20 minutes?
That's 212. I mean, I've gone...
Or did it get to 212?
I think it's gotten to 212. I've had a heart rate monitor on one of the GPs, and for 45 minutes I was from 180 to 195 for 45 minutes.
And you barely breathe too, right?
Well, I mean, supercross riding it's kind of like a part of, unfortunately, like you hold your breath a bit, you know,
right.
If something happens and you go through the whoops, you hold your breath through there, but that's the whole thing, is learning how to breathe while you're doing it, because so many people, and you get a tendency of holding your breath, and then that causes that arm pump, causes you to be in oxygen debt, causes your heart rate to raise and all that, you know.
Yeah.
So there's a trick behind it of finding places to breathe all year out all the way, you know, so you can take big breaths in, and so it's you know it's a mind thing too out there. You can't just go and give it gas, just like you were saying. You know, we're riding F1 machines with 4th grade education, like yourself.
Yeah,
you know, so
that's usually what it takes
and
to
so
be
it's so
in
easy
Moto.
to ride over your head.
No, because I know, I understand.
Combined with like 9th grade.
Yeah, maybe.
You got to be a hard prick to want to race Moto, because otherwise you would have said, "Man, I'll get a job."
Why would I? But also, I think it's one of the fucking gnarliest sports on what they have to do out there. You know, NASCAR or MotoGP or F1. It's motocross changes so much. There's so much going on that fucking track out there, between the whoops, the jumps, everybody. So much shit can go wrong.
Yeah, and like I explained it, you know, all 4 extremities moving at the same time. You're in head-to-toe gear. You have blurred vision. The bike's fucking 400 degrees. It can be 100 degrees outside or more, you know, back east when you're doing that. You have 40 different riders. The track is alive, meaning it's changing at all times.
Yep.
Right? And the ultimate consequence is death. I mean, people die all the time in our sport. And so when you look at that, and you have to be strong, stable, coordinated, you know, have intensity, have focus, have cardio. There's so much involved in it that when you look at other racing, you know, other racing avenues, the courses are usually a little more fixed, you know, like road race, NASCAR, all these things. They change, but they don't change like motocross. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you got ruts, you got shit growing in there.
It's the thing that it involved pretty much every crash in a real race is because the track had changed and it jumped up and bit somebody. Because these dudes, when it's brand new, like a perfect track, it's kind of boring to them. Like they run it too hard. Yeah,
and just like Daytona, 2 of the top guys, you know, broke their backs. Boom, broke their backs. It's not like, oh, I broke a finger. No, they broke their backs. You know, and our sport is so, you know, like blinded of everything. It's like, okay, oh, you broke your back? Oh, you're still walking? Okay, well, when are you going to be back? Not like there's no freak out and, oh my God, it's normal to us now.
You're a guy that's broken your back, and you're training all these young guys to be out there racing, and are you saying that when a motocross guy injures his back that you would advise them that it is over?
Well, it just depends on the severity of it, you know?
But you're saying even, what about, dude, a broken back, even the most minor fracture in your spine, would you say that it's not over for you? Because the one I know this weekend watching Supercross, the announcers talking about how fucked up everybody is in the front of the pack, and I'm like, I as a guy that used to be involved in just being hurt all the time and listening to how fucked they are, and one of them can't lift their bag with their arm and shit, and I'm like, he's in the race. Like, he's doing shit with that arm that is crazy. And he was telling somebody, like, in the pits that he can't carry a backpack. Are you fucking kidding me? And apparently, if you keep riding, it keeps getting worse or it won't heal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, right there, it was
Maybe Dean Wilson?
yeah, it was Wilson talking about, and I'm like, well, Dean's been around, he's been hurt a lot. If I was Dean's parents, I'd say, Dean, you should probably step out this year, get that to heal. I don't want you to have permanent damage, but I know that Dean has this sponsor, and he didn't have one last season, and you don't fucking leave.
No, you can't. He's on a 1-year contract, and if he doesn't, he just pulls out. Well, there's somebody else going to take his place.
Right.
Motocrossers are just tear-offs, unfortunately. Once they get a little dirty, you tear them off, and there's somebody new.
But it's so great for someone like
and
Dean
it
Wilson.
sucks, you know, when you put your life into it, and you risk yourself 4 or 5 days a week, every single week. That's what people don't notice. It's not just a race, man. It's every single day at the track. And and for someone to be able to know, and that's what I say when I train these kids are so much more mature than normal kids at school, because even though you're 13, 14 years old and you don't understand much, you're not really, conscious of too many things except just riding a dirt bike, and maybe just you got a hair on your ding ding now and you're like, oh. So, but these kids, they have to see that their friends have gotten hurt and big problems like that. And it makes you grow up, because you can't deny that they know they're putting themselves at risk every single day.
Right.
Every single day. They know the risk. I see the fear in them. They talk to me about the fear, but they're still able to put themselves out there. They break their arm, break their leg, and these kids are kids, and they come back right away. To me, that's a special person. That's a different human being than what you kind of see in normal school or normal sports. It really is, and it's just a different
That's a good
breed.
thing.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a good thing or bad thing. I just think it's a thing. It's just a type of person.
Yeah.
Because there's people that do things that I'm like, hell no. Like those guys that sit on the skyscrapers and hang off the thing with their finger. I'm like, hell no. But that's a type of person that can that can be okay with that.
I would be tempted, if I were in your position, to tell if I knew a kid didn't have the goods to go all the way. If you break your back because you're competing to be the greatest in the world, that's one thing. If you break your back and you were never going to be in the running for that, that's maybe something different. That would be sort of a responsibility. A weight that's on you.
No, it's 100%. And I make sure that I coach these kids that if the kids aren't going to really make it, say, man, let's maybe focus on having some fun at this. Because it doesn't matter if you're good at it, or it doesn't matter if you're bad at it. The big thing is if you're having fun. That's the biggest thing, because everybody wants to be so good at something and be something and all this stuff, but they're taking the fun out of shit.
Yeah.
And that's my thing is like, look, find something that you absolutely love, because if you love it, then it's fun. And if it's fun, you're going to do it all the time. And if you do something all the time, you're probably going to be pretty good at it, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to do that unless it's fucking fun, and then you find something you love. And so I really try to promote this to these kids, that don't just do it to be somebody or to get something or to have letters behind your name or trophies on the wall, because all that's going to go away. Once you get that trophy, once you get that championship, once you get that, now what? Now what? And this is what we're dealing with so many ex-athletes and so many ex-riders and stuff like that. They're just in this hole. It's in this void.
They should do a radio show.
Of who am I? Because
yes, I know.
Because once you say you're done, now what? Who are you?
What's the average career span?
Well, it just depends, but I'd say 30 and you're done.
30 and you're done.
But then you get a Justin Brayton and a Chad Reed that are older.
Yep.
Justin Brayton just won, but normally it's I say you have a 10-year window.
Yep.
A 10-year window to be able to make something out of your career, make something out of Supercross, to maybe make some money and this and that. So you got to make sure that you take care of this body like you've never taken care of it, and that's where a lot of people go wrong. They're just work out, and this is why I promote so much about working in, because now I'm dealing with the consequences. Every single day, all day, it's about just trying to make myself feel better, because I'm in pain every day. But I don't drive down that road of fucking pain medicine and all that. That's bullshit. That's just laziness.
Yeah.
Complete laziness. And so, there's a lot of different things that I try to promote and try to teach these guys, so they don't go down that road, so they don't get in these holes just because they have a little sore knee.
And what are a lot of the guys doing, like, after retirement? Do they go back into the work, or?
I
know Poto right now is bored.
Well, again,
somebody told you.
Yeah, but that's
he said he might come by here.
Yeah, he's trying to book himself on the show.
He's bored shitless.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
But that's what happens. That's what happens. Is now what? Now what?
Yeah.
And again, the problem is, what is going to compare to racing a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You just did the most extraordinary thing on earth, and now you go say, okay, I'm done. Now you got to go to ordinary.
Yeah.
You know? Now normal life
You need
is
counseling.
ordinary.
You need counseling.
For sure.
To recover from being a professional athlete,
Yes.
I think it's very intelligent to have counseling.
Because athletes die twice. They die when they say they're done, and
Yeah.
then they die when they die.
Yeah.
And so when they die, when they say they're done, because I went through this void, I went through depression, I went through this, like, who in the fuck am I?
Yeah.
You know, and that was one time when I said, okay, I'm done racing. Whew, I'm done, no more pressure. But then after a while, it's like, oh boy. You know, what's going to compare to going off the start with 20 guys in the first turn with 10, going off the, you know, the triple with 5, going across the finish line with my hands up, getting a $100,000 check in the mail, being on the cover of a magazine, and now I say done, and you got to call the phone company saying, hey, does my phone even work? Why is anybody calling me?
Yeah.
You're done. And so that was one, but then I was able to still ride and still be the cool, you know, go to the track when I was ever a little bit down on myself and be the fastest guy and say, ha. But then once I broke my back, I could never be that guy anymore. And dude, there was days that I just bawled my head out because I didn't know who I was. Because I was so used to this energy that got to wake up, be challenged, be motivated, inspired, tested, you know, rewarded every single day. And I feel that's a lot with these football players. It's not so much the concussions. It's about this void of they're nobody anymore. You know, think of going in a football stadium with all of your players hitting your fucking head and then 60,000 people yelling for you, and then now you say you're done, and then you don't take care of yourself and you turn out to be a big fat piece of shit. And well, what do you think depression's going to come in? And yeah, maybe there's some with the head, but dude, I've had 18 concussions, and you know, hear me bawling my brains out to the depression. You know, there's things to do to make yourself heal from these things. You know, it's a lifestyle.
There's an extra layer on top of all the other obvious stuff to the football, basketball players, which is unlike your guys' sports. You've always been on a team.
Yeah.
And you guys at least have been doing this thing mostly on your own the whole time. Also, these guys are used to hanging out with 50 fucking knuckleheads all day, and then
true.
that goes away.
Yeah.
You identify with that
it's
group.
like their whole family just died. Yeah,
You know,
I understand that.
I can relate to that. I fucking tried to go back to Australia when I was a pro skateboarder, and everybody that I ever knew either was dead or had a job. So I just was like at the ramp by myself, and then, I mean, that was like dying in skateboarding. It just ended. It wasn't that I was anybody. There wasn't anybody to tell me who I was. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
Like no one.
That bird.
And there was no like social media. I was just in my own fucking head, just sitting there on top of the ramp, going, "Wow, fucking a drastic change."
Yeah, but that might not have been so bad now that we have social media, because now when you're feeling bad about yourself, and do you follow anybody less than you? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't. So they're always comparing themselves. They're always seeing everybody highlight reel, and it's so easy to compare yourself, judge yourself, and then feel inferior. I see this so much with these kids nowadays. Yeah. They come to me and they have no confidence. They have no self-worth. They have no. I have to retrain them how to fucking be motivated, how to have confidence in themselves, how to have, you know, trust in themselves, because this social media is depleted them.
It's crazy because you and the three of us here have lived a life of it and have watched all of our friends go through it.
I feel like the social media thing, it's a lie on there. I mean, like, I feel like it's the best side of everybody, or not even the real side. So when you know that, then, because I talk to my kids about stuff like that. My daughter has a thing like that. Whereas,
you have kids?
Are you serious?
Well, I didn't think gay guys could have kids.
Ricky Martin, just to name one other.
Oh, is that your guy?
Snowflake. Not my fucking guy.
Snowflake's got
He's just a gay guy that's got kids. Okay.
Patrick Harris of radio.
God damn it! Right? Touched a couple of dicks. It doesn't make you gay. Get off me.
Again.
God, man. So I'm into trannies. Fucking kill me. I'm a Satanist. I'm fucking. Anyway, get off my gay. What were we talking about?
Yeah, social media.
Oh, the social media thing. Yeah, like the Kim Kardashian people of the world. You think that everybody is that, so you think that your day sucks. That's the same with everybody in action sports wants to show you they got all the money, or they got I got the coolest chick, or a cool chain, or I got free tires. Like, it's all bullshit.
Free what?
Yeah.
Free tires. Fucking people show how many sponsors I have. I got speakers. You probably fucking.
Yeah, that's half these guys' social media is just look at what I got and look at who I'm sponsored by, and it's like, you know, I feel like social media should be about sharing, should be about motivating, inspiring. You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
I'm with you.
Because the world is in such a bad place to me, and people are you know, they're not even humans anymore.
No.
I'm sorry. They're depressed. They have anxiety. They're fat. They're lazy. They're unmotivated, unfocused, and
Gay,
Hey, come on.
riding horses.
or you know,
Anyway.
snowflake.
Snowflake?
whatever. You know, but I just I don't know. That's what I feel like. Just
No,
we all need to get behind this dying breed. I mean, we're killing ourselves.
I've tried.
Look around, man.
I know. I've tried.
I mean, look
People are so
at
negative.
yeah, but
I
no,
know.
but look at what social media has done for like the youth of kids. The amount of kids that are committing suicide live on social media, like it's that is fucking growing too.
Yeah, into depression because of you're always comparing. You're always comparing, and if you compare, then what?
Yeah, but
You know
you're
what I mean?
comparing.
You're
You're
less
comparing
than.
yourself to somebody else's lie.
Yeah,
But they don't know that. These kids
I
aren't
know.
educated enough.
But that's why.
They're not aware enough. They haven't been through the trenches like all of us.
If
have.
you have parents then who are informed about stuff like that, then you will be informed also. But not a lot of people have parents that are like, hey, we need to talk about what's going on social media. Like, you realize, because to me it's easier for me because my kids see people look at me like I'm something special sometimes because they've seen the radio show. So there's
and you're
they're
not.
like, and my kids are well aware that I'm not.
Yeah,
So when
yeah.
they're like, someone's like, holy shit, can I take a photo? And my daughter's like, what the fuck would you want to take a photo with him? and I'm looking at her like, I know, right? And then afterwards, I'm like, it's not like when people get weird when they see Daddy. It's because it's not real. Like, they see a photo of Daddy jumping stuff or Daddy being funny, and they think, wacky Daddy. He's always. But you know me. Like, sometimes I'm just sitting on the couch, lame. I don't have anything funny to say. I'm actually like opposite of funny. I suck. But on social media, you see me. Like, I'll have my sunglasses on. I'll be like, look at me, I'm all cool with my cool friends.
And then you
bullshit.
And then you get back in your little Prius and.
No, I'm
he does have a Prius in the driveway.
I do.
Yeah.
It's my wife's car. I don't drive
Dude,
it.
did you have a shovel over there? You just dig that hole deeper
It's my
and deeper.
wife's car.
But so the thing is also when you look at social media again, like I said, you're looking at the extraordinary.
Yeah.
Everything's at everybody's best of their day, and then you turn the phone off, and then you look at the ordinary, which is life, and that's why these kids and everybody just so stuck to it. And these things I think are causing a lot of problems because I deal with a bunch of kids in the racing, and it's sad.
It's weird to know that there's kids on that. Like, because to me, if you're on that,
Who
and
have
if
like
I'm
500,000
13
followers and are insecure.
No, but if I'm
No.
if I'm 13 and you're 13 and we're both training to race Supercross or motocross and you're on your phone, I'm better than you. Because when I wasn't skateboarding, I was thinking about skateboarding.
Yeah.
I did not have that option to look at how many people liked a photo I posted. I only thought of skateboarding all day. And when I wasn't thinking of skateboarding, I was skateboarding.
Yeah.
That was it. And I have no natural ability whatsoever. I didn't have any training. Nobody told me to balance on a fucking pole. Nothing. I just fucking went all day, every day, and my body figured it out because my brain made it follow it. That's the end. That's the end of it. But I know that if there was phones, maybe it would have pulled me away from being so focused on it.
Yeah,
maybe I would have been like, Justin Bieber. I don't know. I mean, sorry to pull that guy up, but when I look at dudes off the track, you're going on your Instagram. Well,
Yeah.
this isn't even that long ago when I was racing motocross. Yeah.
When I
When I was
you race
sponsored,
motocross?
oh yeah, I was sponsored by Kawasaki.
Powder puff class.
I was in the Power Puff class, but I'm also the fastest skateboarder on two wheels. Steve Caballero can practice all he wants.
I heard he's
will go
faster
there-
than you.
No one's faster than me.
I heard he's faster than
No
you.
one.
No?
Anyway, I had the belt.
Done.
It's over.
Done.
We're moving.
You can't
we're
just give
moving
yourself,
on.
you can't just give yourself the
New-
belt.
I rode with him like a month ago.
You want?
New subject.
It's exactly.
Alright.
It's done.
You're the
You
king.
need another trophy for your trophy room?
I don't. Who cares about being the king of jack shit? It's over.
I saw a news story today which sort of seems to tie into a couple things we're talking about, where happiness has been linked to working with your hands.
True.
Like, sometimes it could be.
Sometimes I get happy.
Well, there's that. There's that. But sometimes it could be a simple, like when women used to have like hysteria back in the day, doctors who were the psychiatrists of the day would literally prescribe knitting And it may have actually worked better than people realize, because actually sitting down and focusing on a task and completing the task makes you happy. And maybe riding a motorcycle, which is an actual tangible thing in the world, can make you happier than doing work like sitting in front of a screen all day or sitting in front of a computer, you know?
I can think of better things to do with my hands than knit, Michael.
Yeah, thank you,
But the
Dingo.
thing is, it's a sense of accomplishment, I feel, you know, because I see that it's a sense of accomplishment, and people don't have that anymore. And just like that knitting thing, who cares what it is? You accomplished something. There's a sense of fulfillment that I did something, that I am something, that I can do something, instead of just sitting here. Because I don't know about you guys, you know the skateboard and snowboard world, if it's growing or dying, but our sport's dying, and everybody's wondering why. And I feel that because we're not talking to athletes anymore. We're talking to fucking potatoes. You know, people sitting on their phones, sitting on their butt, watching everybody do these athletic things, watching everybody get dirty and cuts and stuff like that. But they're afraid to do it now. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not talking to athletes anymore.
I feel like
I think everything's shrinking in general. It's like and that's on all sports, everything. There's so much more to offer now. There's kids are gaming, kids are growing up differently. So I think less people are getting. I think everything is slowly doing this because everything's expanding. Mm-hmm. It's back like with television days when we used to have 3 channels. Now we have 3,000 channels, right? So there's so many more options out there for kids to do stuff or grow stuff. So kids are growing up gaming or doing whatever it is they might do, rather than getting on a motorbike or a skateboard or a snowboard. Yeah. And the sport, not skateboarding, but snowboarding and motocross are very expensive sports.
Yeah, well,
they're not cheap.
Motocross. To be a good amateur racer, the family's spending probably $100,000 a year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You know, $100,000 a year.
Not to mention watching your son piff himself off some fucking jump every weekend.
Yeah, then you go to the doctor. You know, shoot, my back was $750,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, right. It's worth it now, right? I'm gonna touch it after the show. Fuck. Take a photo with it, or get a necklace and attach it to it. Walk around with Ryan Hughes hanging up my neck.
I got Hughes' back. $750K.
Well, it's a wonder anybody does it, because Jason, you're saying that, and Ryan, you're saying this as well, that if you have a bunch of advantages in life, like the path to college is laid out for you, you might not even get all that into moto in the first place. Those are the people who tend to get into it. But you're also saying you need to have $100,000 a year, which means you probably come from a privileged background.
A little bit. Yeah, you know what? No, yeah, he's gonna say it.
Or the family has put seconds on their home, sold everything, and when that little kid doesn't make it, then the family just breaks apart.
Which is totally what happens.
And that happens a lot, huh?
Oh, because the parents almost get more into it than the kids do. It's
I've seen it with snowboarding,
thing, man. I mean, when I even had friends that don't have anything to do with motocross, and they didn't know anything about it, but once they started kind of knowing me and getting into it and this and that, they just become obsessed with it. There's some energy, because
it's like pageant mums.
Yeah,
there's something new all the time.
Love a pageant mom.
And that's what I think a lot of, because our sport, the age is older than the most. You know, the average age is like 40 years old. But why is that? Because I feel that, one, those people have the money. Two, that life has become kind of very dull, and so motocross brings newness all the time. Every corner you go to, every jump you go to, there can be newness, because there's 4 or 5, 40 riders going through that rut and that jump, that same lap you do. Time you come around, it can be different, and and everything's happened so quick, because your mind can't keep up with how fast motocross has happened, because it takes a quarter of a second to make every decision. So motocross is more of a feel, it's an instinct, it's an intuition, and so when that happens, the mind kind of shuts off, and you're more in like a present moment. You know what I mean? It's almost like a meditative. It's almost like a meditative thing, and you guys probably know that when you're coming up to something, everything stops.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's that addiction.
You don't even think about it.
Addiction is that it's almost like I don't know. It's almost like your consciousness is addicted to turning it all off and going straight to feel.
That's how I say fighting saved my life from when I retired from skateboarding, because fighting gave me. I found the zone again. Hit once I got, someone was like, hit pads, hand-eye coordination, put steam on that one, not on that one, see like technique and where you should put your. I'm like, oh, we got ourselves a fucking serious fucking sport here. And I'm like, wait, you're saying can I hit pads until I die? Oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in, because it was like you can't. It was the memo came out late for me that, hey man, you came from skateboarding, right? Yeah. You get hit in the head a lot when you fight. Yeah. Did you get hit in the head a lot when you skateboarded? Yeah. It's probably not a good idea. How you ride moto too? Yeah. Probably the worst at that out of all three. That's not a good idea. I'm like, okay, I fucking know. And then I try jiu-jitsu, and then they pull on my ligaments, and then shit doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I get
then people like, you want to do jiu-jitsu? Okay, just don't touch my thumb, don't touch my knee, don't touch my neck, don't touch my jaw.
I know. I'm in the middle.
Can I still fight if you can't touch all these things?
Yeah, no, you can't. I know. So I'm hanging on to that,
But that's that's the thing too. For me, it's like there's, and just like you say, just that focus. I'm able to have
Do you meditate?
this complete just laser focus, and I miss that. Being able to wake up and everything, there's nothing in life that exists except this absolute fucking focus to be the best. I mean,
You miss that?
I do miss that, but then I don't miss that because there's so much pressure behind it.
I was gonna say because that's I don't.
I miss it, but I don't miss it because I love the feeling of it, but I don't like all the pressure and the expectation, and then I don't care to work that hard with it anymore. But yes, I meditate every day. Every single day. I meditate, and I do yoga probably 5 times a week.
You make your own yoga up? Like, you seem like you make up your own gym shit, so it wouldn't surprise me you make up your own yoga.
Well,
you don't?
We don't talk about that. Those movements.
You've got secret shit, don't you?
No.
For Moto dudes, you
What's your
don't?
secret shit?
I think he secretly changed Moto dudes stuff that no one else is, like, and he won't let them know yet. It's like bullshit. He's like some sort of weird, like, Moto training ninja.
Yeah. Sensei.
Yeah. I see videos of these fucking kids doing all these, like, cause I do all the MMA workouts, and I'm like, he's got MMA work, he's got all strength and conditioning training, but he's put Moto in it. Like, he's got foot peg fucking workouts and shit where I'm like, wait, did you make a fucking dirt bike foot pegs for people to stand on while they're lifting weights? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Sensei.
Yeah. We had patents behind it and all that.
I think it's pretty cool.
rhinoequipment.com.
Right. So, do you have a TV show?
Do I have a TV show? Yes. Racetrack Supercross.
And
That's on YouTube. I mean, yeah, it's a YouTube channel, Racetrack Supercross. So what we did is we came with this guy from Ecuador and a guy from that does a bunch of stuff here with Epic Nomads. Came to me and says, hey, we have this idea. We want to put a team together. So we put together last year a team with 2 months before the season started. Yeah. And we had a little team. And then this year we did a contest. So kind of like the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
So this is what this is. And we brought in 5 guys, tested them, this. They rode, they challenged themselves, they trained, they raced against each other, and we picked, and we had the winner. We put the winner on the team. And, this is the first year we're doing it. The next year we're going to do it again. And, it's pretty exciting. Just something different, seeing behind the scenes, not just seeing the winners, The Eli Tomacs and all those guys win. Those guys are good. They have, they have people wiping their butts and stuff. These guys...
Michael wipes Eli's butt.
Yeah, these guys have to do it themselves, but they have... It just... When you get to that lower level, it's almost like there's so much more stuff that can happen, and it kind of shows the true sense of behind the scenes of Supercross, It's a pretty cool thing.
It has always been interesting to me, the people that... drive their own bike to the races and have their own, like, don't have a pit crew and don't have a good bike and don't have any of that stuff and just still go to all the races and go in them. Like, it seems so not, like when you're a pro skateboarder.
That's Chad Reed now, basically.
No, it's not, dude.
I mean, not like that, but I'm saying he's basically funding himself to race.
He is so not like that. You have no idea. Like,
no,
we're talking about
dudes that that don't even have enough money. They don't
right.
have enough money to get to the next race.
Right.
But
I wasn't saying that.
They're still calling themselves a pro.
And they're allowed in the thing. They're in the race.
They're good. They're great.
Yeah.
They're great, but just the sport just does not pay down that far, and so these guys they're scraping.
It's just crazy to say when you say down that far. It's not that far.
No, it's like 20.
It's 20 dudes, and the stadium's packed.
Yeah.
It's weird to know. It seems like that with a lot of things, though. That, even the UFC, it's such a big organization, and there's people on there that are, even if I know people that haven't made it to the UFC that are really good fighters, and then the people that are in the UFC must be better than them, and they don't really make that much money until they're famous in the UFC. And I'm like, every time I watch it, everybody buys it. Everybody's in the stadium. It's weird to know that the guy that has, the blood, sweat, and tears from those people, the women and men that fight or race, don't get a little bit more of the money. Like, I understand that if you're the businessman, you're going to get most of the money. You made the play, so it's your money. Yeah. But to know that anybody... Because you could have a show on just how fucked a lot of dudes are in Supercross. Because I've been there in the morning and seen, like, the dudes in the pits where I'm like, how did this dude get in the parking lot with his bike? And then I'm like, oh, he's racing.
Yeah.
He fucking drove here with his shit truck, like piece of shit old fucking like $5,000 truck with his bike in it, and that's it, man. Like, and he's in the pits like tightening his shit up, and he's going to be in the race. And when he goes,
being his mechanic or his girlfriend is mechanic.
right? Yeah. And then like if he goes to like Elsinore and I'm there, I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Just tearing. And then the other thing is when they're that fast, your bike obliterates in seconds. So like my brother, who's like a really good racer, his bike every like half an hour he had to like adjust something on it. When I could ride mine for like a week, I don't have to adjust a chain.
Well, because he actually gets out of second gear. So
Fuck off. Like,
but the thing is, I think the deal is with motocross and with UFC is they don't have any what's the word looking for, but like an organization.
Yeah, collective bargaining.
They're like, the riders, there's no union.
Yeah.
So they can't stand up. UFC has no union. They can't stand up. Baseball, football, all that. Well, that's how those guys are making so much money, because they have a union. They can stand up. They've gone on strike. You can't ask most supercrossers to go on strike because they need to make a payment.
Yeah.
They got to pay their house payments. They got to eat. They got to do all this stuff. And if they don't race, what are they going to do? And so it's very, very difficult to make everybody stand together. Or there's an iron fist above them, maybe like UFC, that says, no, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. So I don't know.
Yeah, right.
is there anything we can do to help them?
Huh?
Is there anything like the people can do to help, like the?
Start up GoFundMes
I don't know.
for the bottom 20.
If you could actually get like
Bill Gates just sponsors the bottom 20.
If you could get 10, 20, 30% of fans to swear and actually back up that they would not follow the sport until the guys at the bottom are getting taken care of, you'd probably get taken care of pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then there's also the thing, unfortunately, where if you're a guy who makes it to the top, well, now you're a guy who maybe has a little bit of power to try to get the guys at the bottom taken care of. But nobody did that for you, and you're only going to be on top for so long. So who's going to be the guy who's going to, sacrifice himself for everybody else, and then the vicious cycle continues.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to put something together like this back in 1990, 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Back then, and 2 people sent their applications in, and it's just like, again, you can't be, unfortunately, you can't be very intelligent to want to race and ride motocross. You know what I mean? It is. Sorry. So it kind of sometimes that's all we know is just, hey, we just go fast on the motorcycle, and a lot of times it's not about making money. It's not about being the best. It's not about winning championships. It's about the thrill of it, man, and the feeling of it, and just there's nothing you can't even explain it. It's like I talk to guys that are at the very top, and when you race that level, there's not even words that can explain what it feels like or what it is, or you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, it's everything happens so quick, and what you can do on a motorcycle and the things you can go around and go over it's like unexplainable to a normal person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's got to be
a person that hasn't done it. It'd be like Jason trying to explain it to Jason. It's just he's never going to get it because he's such a normal person.
It's hard for Jason to talk to Jason.
Pretty funny for a washed-up motocrosser. Fucking asshole.
It's one of the greatest blessings I think life would have to offer, to be insanely world-class good at something that is the thing you love more than anything else.
Yeah, but then there's that's the evil in it too. Because once you've been the best at something, now what?
Well, I mean, but that's it
You know
though.
what I'm saying? I mean, this is the shit that we deal with.
But that
And
goes
this is
back to, I
everywhere.
got friends that are Olympians or world champions or whatever it is, and they come out of their career and they've had a long career because they lasted it, so they're coming out in their early 30s, and they're at 30, that life's ended, and they don't really know how to fit back into regular society.
Yeah.
Because they're being put up on this pedestal on such a high level, and that phone stopped ringing, and it's not that they haven't made a lot of money, they just don't know what to wake up and do it themselves.
Yep.
Sean White said the same thing to me like 6 months ago. He's like, I know the day after that Olympics, whether I win or lose, I'm going to wake up and I know I'm probably not going to ride a snowboard ever again.
Yeah.
Competitive like he was at the Olympics. He goes, I know that me is coming to an end.
Yep.
My whole life I've trained to get to that level. And he goes, I know it's coming up, and you're mid-30s or early 30s.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I'm sure being accused of being anti-American and a sexual assaultist are keeping him very busy. So he's got that.
I know.
He got.
That didn't last long, though, did it?
Nah, he put them more in their place. He got a
Good.
little bit Me Too'd on the Today Show. That was kind of fucking lame. And then he had the flag, and they said he was standing on the flag. He just won his fucking third Olympics.
Somebody handed it to him, and he walked across the half pipe.
People are retarded.
Nonsense.
No, but
Thank
that's
you,
for me,
Husey. Yes, they are.
I'm you know, I say I'm almost 45, and I've done a career for almost 35 years. You know, I've worked a career already. I've worked a career, and it's 35 years of doing the same thing, of racing motorcycles and teaching motorcycles. So, yeah, it's you start very young, you know.
Look, I feel like, and this is probably from years of therapy, but what I wanted from skateboarding, one of the things I wanted to accomplish was to be the greatest there was, and that didn't happen. But then when I got older and I realized, I mean, in the end, there was a goal like that, because if I got that goal, then everybody would be happy with me, because I was in a zone where you were so good that maybe you should be the best in the world. But what I really wanted was to be the master of to control that piece of wood. I wanted to control it and make it a part of me, so I didn't even feel like it wasn't a part of me. And I could fly around and go anywhere I wanted on it and do anything I wanted with it. And I got that.
Yeah.
And then in the end, whether I got a fucking trophy or I got a photo or famous or money, I didn't get into skateboarding because I wanted money or anything like that. When I started, I didn't say, "Oh, one day you'll see me in a magazine." I was skateboarding, and then the best part of it was when I was skateboarding with my friends before I turned pro. When I just was like, all day, skateboard, and then when we would get there, and then we'd be like, I'm on my skateboard with everybody, fun. More fun than ever, nothing matched it, ever. First time I got off the plane in America was like a fucking dream, because Tony Hawk was born here. It didn't matter that it was America, I knew that you guys were here. So when I got off the airport was spectacular. Yeah. Because you guys had been there, and to have that much adrenaline in me from a fucking sport, that's the gift that I got. And then just to know at one point I was like, fuck, man, you know what I mean? Like, I could have been, you know, right when I was top 3 in the world, I didn't, you know, if I was top 3 in the world now, I'd be getting paid. Fuck you, Ellis. Yeah. Fuck your money. Fuck your fame. Fuck all of it. you at one point I remember I could use it any way I wanted. I could make that fucking thing come with me when it wasn't even like, that didn't make no sense. Doesn't have to. It just came with me.
Yeah, you're on the right point, because I talk to a lot of kids, you know, coming up, and you know, one thing is like, man, I worked so hard, and I was so just determined to. Was it to win? Yeah, I wanted to win. I wanted to beat people, but it was just such a focus. I'm like, did I even have fun? You know, because I worked so hard at it. But then I look back and I go, did I have goals to win championships? And I really didn't have goals to win championships. The funny thing I just loved going fast.
Right.
That's all I cared to do, was just go so fast on this motorcycle, and that's what kind of maybe hurt me a little bit, because from Monday to Saturday, I was just trying to be the fastest dude there ever was, because I loved going fast. Right. But then it maybe hurt me towards the end of, you know, on the weekend, or I overtrained, or I wasn't focused on, you know, bettering my technique or my imbalances or things like that, because I just loved going fast. The rush of going fast and the thrill of going fast, and then being able to put yourself on the line like that, nothing compares to it.
See,
dude.
and
nothing compares to it.
That's the choice that you made, and knowing your career a little bit, like, yeah, maybe you don't have as many accolades as Ricky Carmichael, but you got what you wanted out of Moto. You're Rhino, and what people think of you is what you wanted people to think of you. You're a fucking animal. You're a maniac. It's hard to stop you. And that is the thing that everyone thought about you in your prime, and they think about it now. So it's like, you know, I don't have, like, I can't tell you all the accolades I have in skateboarding. I didn't really win anything. Got third couple times.
Yeah.
But I know there's a couple of dudes like Bob Burnquist, who's to me one of the greatest skateboarders that has ever lived of all time. He knows how good I was, and he knows how I rode a skateboard. And that little things like that, if I cared for a pat on the back, that's what I don't need the kids to go, I remember you were a beast. Like, I don't fucking care. I know what I did on a skateboard, and I've had that forever till I die.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the thing is I think people get so stuck on what they did, and they can't get past what they did, like being a skateboarder or a motocrosser or whatever. And to me, the true test is your whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody goes through their shit, you know, dude. I've lost my father when I was racing. I've lost, you know, paralyzed and broken everything. I lost championships by 3 points because of the bike breaking. I lost all my money. I lost my house. I had someone knock on my door to repo my truck. Life has kicked me in the balls. I've been married for 25 years and just had some, just the hardest times on earth about it. And, life has really, really, tested me. But the thing is being able to stay on that line, never letting yourself differ off that line. And that, to me, is what makes a person, not the championships they made, being able to be a mirror to these kids or these people that look up to you, right? And because everybody has their tests, and to me, life doesn't have a language. Its language is by situations, and these situations are tests or wake up calls or different directions, and you have to be aware and conscious enough to see these things so you don't go down these wrong roads. I was just in Santa Barbara hanging out with some friends of mine, and we met this guy on the beach, just some kid just walking from Boise, and we're like, what, dude, you look tired. Come on, you're hanging out with us today. And he's just like, whoa. And dude, we fed him, we gave him a shower, he stayed the night, we did the whole, next day he woke up just amazing. So this kid has just lost his life. This other guy, is 50 years old, divorced, and the disaster, another older guy have. It's just, you see life just start taking its toll on people, especially men. I'm sorry to go down this road, but just, I feel that's a test of life, is to be able to handle all these things that are coming from you and not just be attached to what you were. And I see a lot of these old athletes and all these old motocrossers still trying to be and hang on to what they were. Look at me. Dude, that was 10 years ago, bud. That was 15 years ago. What are you doing now? How are you helping the sport now? How are you helping people now? How are you inspiring kids and people now? Don't just keep hanging on to your championship from 1998, right? And I see a lot of people hanging on to that.
Yeah, but what you're saying is, and again, I was never the best, not even fucking close.
No, you were shit, Dingo.
But I made a career. But I made a career out of it, right?
You made a career out of being shit.
Yeah, no, I fucking did, and I always had to work that much harder than the next guy, even to stay fucking relevant or be a part of anything.
Yeah.
So
now look at all those guys that were way better than you, huh?
Crazy,
Suck
right?
on that. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But the ones that do get the best, that do become the champions, it is hard for them to give it up. They always go back to 98, fucking 97,
it's
the
like
fucking
the high school,
2004.
the high school quarterback.
You never want to be the hot chick in high school.
I didn't go to school.
You ever see the hot chick in high school?
Quarterback? What does that mean?
Well, all the high school, the guys in high school that were quarterbacks, and they were good, but then their dad didn't support them, or they blew a knee out. And when I was in high school,
Jason's a high school quarterback.
Is that you, Michael?
Al Bundy on Married with Children.
Oh, yeah.
So the thing is that
were you a high school quarterback, Andrew?
But that's the thing.
You blow your knee
people
out?
Get so stuck on what they did, and they can't evolve to the next.
They don't know how to move forward.
They don't know how to move forward.
Because that's the best. That's the climax of their life. That's the best thing that will ever happen to their life. So they live under it every single day.
Yeah, it's almost a. I don't know what I'm looking for, but a negative to be something so damn good.
No, it is.
Because then where
tell me about it, Rhino.
Tell
me about it. Yeah.
No, not for me. I mean, there's people.
I live with it every day.
Times better than that, you know. But I'm just saying, I see these guys that are so good and they can't get past what they were, or where do you go from there?
I think you touched on something, Dingo.
Cow.
You said like that they can't let it go. Or move on, or that they think that is the biggest accomplishment of their life, and I'm like, you don't. If you think that that's the biggest accomplishment of your life, and you're dead set on that, then that is what will happen
for sure.
But if you go, because really, if you win a championship of a sport, you can't possibly think in your right mind that can be the most special thing that you can accomplish in your life. It's a fucking trophy from a contest, like. I'm not a religious guy. I don't believe in any of it, but I believe that the biggest thing that I can do that I'll do in my life is help somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say right now I have my kids, but maybe that could be the curse of the poor little bastards that half of their blood is this. But there's no doubt in my mind that like skateboard contests, whatever I did, radio, like helping somebody. Would be the
well, that's it. It's like not what can you do for yourself, but what can you do for others. And up until like 5 years ago, before I started talking and hanging out with youth and kids and traveling the country and doing that stuff, I only cared about me. only gave a shit about me. Nobody else fucking. It was
You're
all
still very young. I don't blame you. You should. But
Right,
I think
but-
it's very
but-
big of you that what you're doing
But
right now.
I have had a change, and I put those kids first. And it's if I can give them information or give them a platform to make them a better human, or them to find out what they're great at and go and do it. I didn't graduate high school, but I've been working since I was 15, and I'm pretty good at what I do.
Do you think what you're doing right now has made you happier as a person?
1000%.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I think
You
the
do that
thing
a lot
is,
too,
it's
right?
almost like you come to a point. It's almost like a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
You know, the midlife crisis.
I think I've had a couple of those.
Is like the exterior of life isn't going to excite you anymore, and that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, look, money isn't going to excite me. I've had it. Fame isn't going to excite me. I've had it. Being the best at something, I've already had it.
Your dick
Doing this,
working,
I've
that
already had it.
excites you.
I've had all these things, and so if I go chase those things, they're not going to bring me happiness anymore. And so, what the big thing is like doing an about face and start trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
You know, and that is the most interesting thing you'll ever come about is when you can actually start to figure out who you are and work on yourself and understand yourself. It's the most complex, you know.
But you know when you figure that out is when you hit rock bottom. Depression, suicide
Yeah,
thoughts,
you
whatever it is.
bring
When you're at
yourself
rock bottom, you
inside.
find out who the fuck you are.
You bring yourself inside, start finding out who you are, and then you start creating a new life.
Yeah.
You know, you start creating a new life, and because the exterior of life isn't going to excite you anymore, and that's coming inside. And I don't want to be this, you know, spiritual thing of this, but dude, it's 100% of what I've healed myself and in the path that I'm going down and the understandings I'm getting. It's not from getting more. It's not from wanting more. It's actually from getting less and wanting less, but trying to understand myself more and trying to figure out what is all these things happening, because the biggest thing in life is mastering yourself. Not letting your mind master you. Not letting your emotions master you. Not letting other people fucking master you. You know what I mean? And that's what everybody's doing, is everybody's just looking for someone to teach them or tell them what to do, how to think, how to act, how to feel, how to this. Dude, have some balls and figure it out yourself of how you think and feel. And this is, it's huge, because everybody's looking for the finger to point or someone to hold their hand. And so when you get older or you get done with your career or whatever it is, it's time to have a different outlook and stop trying to accomplish something, you know, because we're all so ambitious.
Yeah.
We're all so ambitious to beat people, to be better than you,
Yeah.
to get letters behind my name, to get this money, to be a CEO. Okay, but now what?
You'd make a decent cult leader.
Yeah.
I have a cold.
Look,
Just don't tell nobody.
Look, there's it's different phases in your life too, because I feel like, you know, when you're all about achieving your goals and I mean this is a part of discovering yourself. You're not going to be 16 and just have it all figured out like Ryan Hughes has it figured out. Ryan's been around the block a couple of times, and that has given him the knowledge. You can't. I mean, for me, you can't learn it from reading a book, maybe because I can't read. But you have to experience it firsthand to know for sure. For me, I did anyway. I learned from my mistakes. That's why I know so much, because I've made so many mistakes.
Yeah, experience is the deepest level of knowledge.
Yeah.
Reading is just borrowed knowledge, and you know you can learn a lot of stuff, but you're just borrowing somebody else's knowledge. But when you experience it, then you have your own idea. You have your own outlook on it, and then that creates wisdom. You know what I mean? The first time you did something on a skateboard, you know, a 360 or whatever, you crashed a bunch of times, but once you finally got it, boom, okay, right? There's these things that you do, and
Well, you go crazy learning it. You do it thousands of times before you land it, and you land it, and
but then you master it, and then you have kind of wisdom of it, and that's a thing, you know.
I think I got good at the radio show because I'd already figured out how to get good at skateboarding.
Wow.
I don't know if I
kidding
actually...
me? You were great right off the bat.
Good.
No, but it was I knew what was going to happen. I knew how long it was going to take.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't exactly, you know what I mean, like day for day, but I was like, this is gonna, nothing comes that's worth it that doesn't take at least 10 years.
That's true.
So I was like, yeah, you're naturally talented at this, but I know that because I've met people that are more naturally talented than me at skateboarding, and I beat them.
Yeah.
Because there's passion that beats your talent. So I just knew here, because there were times where I'd already been somebody, and then I worked here and I was a piece of shit, and they were like, fuck you, you're doing this and you're doing that. I'm like, man, this is a job. This is terrible.
You're getting stepped on.
But I knew that well, I couldn't say I knew. I believed that this was all part and parcel of the ride of, you know, being successful and achieving your goal. But what I was getting at is, when you're younger and you want it, having that mentality where you're trying to succeed and that's all you're thinking about it's not a bad thing.
No.
But you are going to find out that you're going to need more than that in life. But nobody can. It's like I can't tell my kid. I can already tell. I'm like, that's not going to work out. And she's like, fuck what you're saying. I'm like, okay, well,
you gotta experience,
okay.
You gotta experience yourself.
Let it bite your own ass, and then I can say I told you so, because that's really the only.
But there's phases in your life. There's phases when they're kids, or phases when you're in your 20s to 30s, 40s to 50s, and those are the times that you need to change. If you're still looking at life at 50 like you did at 25, there's something wrong with you, man. So again, when you're in your 20s, 30s, man, go get life, go charge life,
right.
go experience life, go make yourself something. But then there's going to be a point where that going to get it and going to achieve it isn't really going to excite you anymore. Now what? Well, then that's where all you see so many men especially having a tough time nowadays. Really tough time.
It seems
a
like
lot of depression in men. I mean, look how many men they're fucking killing themselves.
I feel like what you're saying right now is because we're talking about athletes recovering from being athletes, and then we're talking about men recovering from being young virile men. I believe. Like it sounds like when I'm 50, because I can tell all the testosterone, all the broken bones. Like I got sick recently and haven't trained for 3 months, and I can tell my body's doing something that it's never done before.
It's breaking down.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never looked like that. Do I have to lift weights? That's weird. I've never had to lift weights. I'll just buff. You know what I mean? When I wake up,
I'm just buff Jace.
What you don't use,
I'm like,
lose.
shit, my muscles are fading. Are you fucking kidding me?
What you don't use, you lose, man.
Right. So there's these things, and as a person that's very what is that thing again that I have that bad trait?
Narcissistic.
Yeah, narcissistic. That I'm watching myself fall apart.
Yeah.
It's hard, but because I've failed and died 1,000 times, I can deal with it because I've had to suck dicks and shit. The ones that I didn't want to. So these, like getting older is like not so bad for me.
Yeah.
But I could see how this is
not
like,
enjoyable.
A dude retiring from being an athlete is exactly the same as a man getting older. Like, because I never really thought about it. I thought in my own mind, I got my pants on and I got my same belt waist, and if it goes up, oh bullshit, I'll be going to the fucking gym, and that waist.
Make the belt tighter.
I will not do that. I wear sweatpants for a week, and then I'll get my butt back into shape in those pants. But if you go, I can tell you go to work that day, you see another wrinkle on your way to work, and you're like, man, fucking face is coming off. That's some bullshit. I could see men getting depressed from that, and not telling anybody.
I think the biggest thing is maybe not such a looks; it's just how much pressure men have to support a family, to be this. If you're a man and you're not successful, if you don't have a good job, you don't have money, you're nothing. And then you have these kids and this wife to support your whole life, and it's just you're working your ass off, and every penny's going to try to just keep up. And then once the kids and everything move out, now what? You understand? It's just like you kind of get beat down a little bit. What I just see from men. You know what I mean? And I try to be very aware of
Sorry, that voice.
Yeah, geez,
Right.
Will.
What was that? Where the hell's that come from?
Thank you,
God.
voice from
Heaven.
the above.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where did that come from?
Rhino's been knocked out a lot. Will, you're gonna have to come in next time you talk. That really fucked with him.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta lay down.
Yeah, I'm not sure he knows. Yeah, that fucked with his equilibrium. I can see that.
Yeah.
He's shook, dude.
Yeah, easy on the fucking God voice.
Yeah. I thought it finally came.
Oh, hang on, we got a phone call.
Whoa, one.
Well, I just didn't take them, so they hung up. John, welcome to the show. Yes, it is, John. It's you.
That was
Since what? I didn't.
Since you didn't know how to read.
That's every day.
Oh, from the start. Okay, yeah. No, I've got way better.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Cat, dog.
That was the start.
Yeah, having a fucking actual thing. I don't know that human beings are wired to take all that much satisfaction in completing a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Because that spreadsheet doesn't actually really exist anywhere. I mean, this is a really corny example, but the movie City Slickers, the premise of the movie is that Billy Crystal is having a midlife crisis because he sells advertising in the radio, and he realizes, my career is I literally sell air. And he can't fucking hang, so he has to go and drive cattle.
Yeah, another amazing thing I do, but I'm not very good at it, but I like to do art. You know, I like to draw and do these different things. But it's very calming. You know, it's very meditative. And again, you're doing something, you're accomplishing something. Even if someone saw it, you'd look like, did your little kid do that? Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's something that I started, something I created, something I finished. And art is very healing. And so that's the same thing. It doesn't matter what you're doing with your hands. It's part of it. Even when you talk, you know, I talk with my hands a shitload.
Me
and
too.
So there's something there. It's an extension. Your hands are an extension of your mind. And so I can tell when I'm watching people ride if they're feelers or they're thinkers. If their arms are tight, I know they're thinking because it's an extension from their mind. If they flow like a Christian Craig or whatever, then I know they're feelers because their arms are very loose. Right? Okay, if you get mad, what happens? You start clenching your fist.
Yeah.
Right? If you feel very lovable, then your arms are always kind of extending.
I'm fingering people when I'm lovable.
Well, not dingo, you know.
No, not dingo.
I enjoy it when he fingers me.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, I do like some pussy as well. You fucking.
We
asshole.
actually we made out before.
Did you? Oh,
Yeah.
Come on,
I can
dingo.
imagine. I can imagine you
Yeah.
guys have.
It was
We did-
accident.
okay.
It's an accident.
We didn't make
Okay.
out. I passed the grape into his mouth, but it was to get two other girls to make out in front of us.
Okay, then it's worth it.
And they did.
100%
They did.
worth
They
it. Yeah.
totally did.
And one of them was a friend of mine's ex-wife that I always wanted to see.
He
make out
hated
with
her.
a girl. Yeah.
He hated her.
Yeah.
We fucking showed her.
Satisfying.
It's
It
all
was
worth it.
satisfying as all fuck.
It's all
I would
worth
have
it.
fucking tongue-darted your ass to see that.
Yeah, all worth it. All worth it.
That was fucking beautiful. She gayed out in front of me.
Yeah, it was,
All
good.
worth
That was a
it.
fun night.
You gate out to watch gate out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was gay for gay.
Yeah.
Gotta give a little to get a little.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
And I got
sure.
up close on that one. I was like, yeah, it's fucking, you guys are lesbians. It's hot. Okay, I gotta go. Yeah. Was that Ken Block's birthday party?
Jeff Tremaine's, but no, Ken Block's birthday.
That's right. We got put at the kids'
Yeah,
table.
we were even at the big table.
I forgot about
Where
that.
was that at?
Chateau Marmont.
Yeah. I like being at the kids' table.
Yeah, they have more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were playing Kiss Chasey.
Yeah. Right? I feel like they were going to have responsible conversations at the other
I know.
table.
It gets you nervous, huh?
Yeah, because they go,
Oh.
what do
They
you
were
think about the current situation, Jeff? I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
What do you think about the political?
They were bumming our tax bracket over on that table.
Yeah, no, they were talking about tax evasion or something.
You're over there
You're like-
eating boxes
yeah, you're
of
like-
Shakey's pizza.
Yeah, we just started paying taxes.
You're like taxes?
Me and Dingo,
What are taxes? I don't even make money to make
me and
that.
Dingo were
Taxes.
drinking all their wine and making out on the kids' couch. Didn't even know whose birthday it was. Fucking losers. So you don't ride at all?
I ride a little bit. Like
Okay.
When I get that kind of itch, I'll go out and ride a little bit. Like trail ride and stuff. I every time I do a school or I teach, then I ride because then I can talk about it, explain it, but then I can also demonstrate it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I still like to ride. I still keep myself very fit, so it's very easy to get right back on the motorcycle. But just the thrill of it just isn't there as much. I enjoy more of the teaching part of it. And just getting dressed and undressed and loading your bike and unloading your bike and having to possibly wash it. That's a lot of work.
He's over it.
Yeah.
But
then I
got kids and nobody does anything. Like
But
I
then
just
the
bring it
track-
all and they all just go inside and go to bed and I just deal with everything. Trailers and bikes and fucking.
Yeah, and then then I get kind of the tracks now that aren't that exciting either. I'll go ride 20 minutes and be like, all right, that's cool. But I'm very interested in more dual sport stuff.
Like what?
Hey, what's over that mountain? You get what I'm saying?
I don't
just
know,
big,
I
long
don't.
dual sport. Offer a dual sport
Oh.
motorcycle. Yeah.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
like trail rides, and you go for
Does that mean
20
you,
miles, 30
you
miles,
pee your
100 miles.
pants?
Huh?
Are you pissing your pants
Gets
on that
off and
race?
pisses, dude.
No, dude.
Alright.
I get off and take a piss. And
Okay.
then if
He's
there's
not
something
racing.
Nice, I'm not
I don't
racing.
know.
I don't want to race anybody.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm done.
How come you don't race cars? You don't care about racing?
No, because you got to have money to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting
You
that.
forgot about that. That's why you're not racing.
Yeah, that's why I'm not racing right now. I keep forgetting that.
I raced mountain bikes for a little bit.
You did?
Just for fun. You know, I
Yeah.
did a couple races, enduro races and XC races. Did some big races like last year in Switzerland. I did the Grand Raid was 80 miles, 18,000 feet of climbing. I think in 9 hours, 11 minutes. Dude, it was the most epic thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, that's not the word
But
I'd be using.
But I did 3 of these races, and once I got into the last one, I said, "Yep, I'm done. I don't feel like to hurt ever again like that."
Right,
You know?
because it's
Again,
very...
you come to such a point of hurting yourself so much that it's like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's a very fulfilling moment, right? Because that's how I am.
100%, man.
I was telling these guys I'm going to get the stem cell in my my knee and my hip and that because it's coming out over and over again from training and stuff. And then my trainer Eddie Jackson's like, dude, when you get that shit, you're going to be so much better. You'll be fucking back in there. And I'm like,
No.
maybe I won't be. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I feel like if they really do like fix my knee and my hip and my lower
I
back,
should probably just stay.
I don't think I want anybody to touch it anymore. Like, I feel like it would almost be irresponsible to let you start yanking on it again. I just got a dude. I mean, I'm under the impression that somebody's going to take shit out of my spine. I don't think this is like a relaxing day. I don't want to go back and make him do it again. So I think I would. And I wouldn't have said that. It's so funny. I'd said a fight like about it, I don't know, 6 months ago. And I feel like that was I got the last piece of, because people say to me, why would you fucking have an MMA fight, dude? You're old and you suck. And I'm like, I know. I just want to, I feel like I need to have it. And I felt like that was such a test to me, like mentally and physically. The way it went horribly wrong, and I had to go through so much shit to win in the end that I don't need. I've like the drive is gone. Like I really have.
Yeah.
I had this thing where I've been sick lately, but I'm not like when I get back into the gym, I don't have this vision of a goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My goal now is to go to the gym a lot and not like get hurt or get sick. That would be like if I have.
The thing is just to feel good.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Is like I just train to feel good. I don't train to be fitter. I don't train to be this. I train to feel good.
And
in that last race I did, from the first pedal stroke to the last pedal stroke, I hurt the whole entire time. It hurt me so bad, and it was so miserable that was like the kind of the knife in the back saying, dude, you're done.
So when you train
Stop being a
now,
competitor.
do you train in a way that is like it's maximum, you're fit as you can be, but in a way, like, is there something that I need to know? Like, could you tell other people that are listening that is there a way for people in their 40s that they should be training? Like,
well, I think the biggest thing anybody should be doing at 40 or whatever, even at, like you're getting old and beat up and stuff like that, is get yourself into yoga.
Yeah?
Oh my God, it's changed my life, man.
Really?
It has absolutely changed my life. I haven't felt this good in probably 10 years.
Are you doing is it hot yoga or just normal yoga?
I'm more flexible. I'm more balanced. I don't have the imbalances I've had. My back feels better. My neck feels better. My knees feel better. Everything on me feels better. It strips away so much emotion.
Huh?
You know what I mean? Because you trap so much emotion in your muscle fascia. And how much emotion have you created from all these injuries and all these other things that have had happen in your life?
Huh?
You know, this gets trapped in you. And it's a way, because every time that you twist, stretch, pull, whatever, you're squeezing and releasing organs. And organs trap emotion also. Your muscle fascia does too. And then that heat and everything. And then also the focus, to be able to have that concentration of focusing on your breath, your body, your movement, and being able to hold poses, but also being able to be relaxed. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So if I can gain, focus in this concentration and also the ability to feel more at ease, well, guess what's going to happen in everything else I do outside that studio?
Would you be terrible at it when you first started from all your
my-
prior injuries?
Oh my God. I had to walk out of the room the first time because I went in there as a motocrosser. I went in there the first time.
Like you're going to win the class.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna kick these. I'm kicking.
How were the
their
wrists?
ass.
Were the wrists tense or we
I was
lose?
kicking- I
We
was gonna
tense
kick
or
the other's
lose?
ass.
I have done it once. I
Yeah.
can't, like, my wrists don't work. So, like, as soon as
Yeah,
we started
I
doing...
suck at yoga.
Yeah, but my wrist doesn't move either. But I've gotten to the point of being able to do. It's just chipping away.
Yeah.
It's like chipping away at a rock with a fingernail. In the beginning, it's like, dude, I'm not doing anything. But 2 months, 3 months later, you go back and you're like, holy shit, okay.
Okay.
And it's a slow process. Nothing in nature and nothing in life happens overnight. If you watch the sun move, you can't watch it until it gets to a focal point of a mountain. or you're not going to see a plant grow, but then you come back in 2 months, you're like, oh, whoa, look at that thing. So it's the same thing in life, and with us, you slowly get as fat as you just got, but then you slowly get back into shape.
Yeah.
You know, it takes time to do that, and that's why so many people get out of shape, because it happens so subtly that they don't even recognize it's happening until one day they look in the mirror like you did the other day, I think, and went, oh my God, I'm fat.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
it's every day.
Am I big poking?
I'm narcissistic. I don't worry. I called myself fat 20 times before I left today.
So, but then it's so hard. It takes so long for people to get back into shape. If I could give someone a pill of like, this is what being healthy and this is what I feel like, I think you change in a second. Right. But yoga, man, it's changed my life, bud.
Is it hot yoga you're doing or normal yoga?
Hot yoga.
Like if I was to do it,
I do hot yoga, normal yoga, Bikram yoga. You know, there are many.
Which one
ways.
would you advise if you don't know
I would just
shit?
do a hot yoga.
Okay.
Bikram, you gotta have balls of steel. Like, it's tough.
Oh, okay. I don't need somebody testing me on stretches.
No, but hot yoga, dude.
But I'll sweat. What about if you sweat real bad?
I sweat like a horse, dude.
Because I'm real bad. I'm the most sweatiest person I know.
Nah, I doubt it.
You want to? This is gonna sound real gay, but do you want to have a sweat off?
I'll have a sweat off, yeah.
You might want to involve Andrew as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. But
I
he's just more of an armpit guy.
And it's, and I've always been the guy just to work out, go this, go that, and not this, yoga. But go in there, and that's what because I get all my riders to do yoga, because one, you got to train to win, but you also have to train to crash. And not everybody's gonna win, but everybody's gonna fucking crash.
Speaking of crashing, Mike, you have a question for Ryan. We're good.
Dynamite. Yes, I did do that. The first moto, I went for a shift and caught my foot in a hole and broke my leg. It's not like it was broken in half, but yeah, it was broken, and then finished the moto and taped it up. Yeah, thank you very much, my friend.
That's right. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, take care.
Duct tape?
Yeah.
Yeah, old school.
Duct tape. Well, it's I was leading the championship at the point, and then there's a little bone. There's bones that go around your ankle and the leg, so I broke that. And then in between motos, I don't think I even took my boot off. And we X-rayed it, and then put my boot on, and we duct taped my foot to my boot and my boot to my leg, and then we put a shot of whatever it is in my butt, and just made the pain go away. But when we taped it, it's not like they taped my leg crooked, but just we taped my foot off, and I didn't do the parade lap. So the second moto going off the start, I couldn't get my shift because my foot was in the wrong place, and so I started dead last, and then I finished. I don't know what I finished. Probably 15th or some shit.
Yeah.
But then the next race I couldn't race. But when you want something so bad and you put your whole life into it and you put everything in, you're willing to almost die for it. In my mind, what can't you do? What can't you do?
Yeah, I always
what
thought.
Can't you do?
Yeah, I've done. I shattered my wrist and got knocked out, and I woke up with my wrist shattered, and this was the contest I was going to win. I had a ride that I'd made 3 times in practice. I made it in qualifying. I was going to win this fucking contest. And I was like, you have got to be shitting me. I'm not going. And the ambulance was there, the medics, and they had the gas mask on. They're like, you're going. I'm like, I'm not going. They're like, you are going. I'm like, I'm not fucking going. And they're like, well, you have to sign something to stop or we're taking you. So I signed some release to not take me. And then I duct taped my wrist. I just screamed and duct taped my arm under the ramp. And then I came up on the top of the ramp and I was pacing back and forth. My face was like gray, and I was like, I'm gonna do my ride. And everyone was like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, I'm gonna do my ride. Well, I mean, I knew if I made this ride, I would win. Not even realizing at the time that I broke that arm off. Half the ride involved me using that hand.
Yeah.
So I didn't even realize until I dropped in that half of my tricks. Because I was one of the only persons that could do a tower grab 540, and that was the wrist that I broke. So right when I went to do that, I was like, oh, I have that option anymore. And then I did a backside 540 and a lip slide, and my wrist did a scrunchy thing when my hand went down,
Oh.
and it made my legs give out. And then I found the ambulance guy before he left, and I was like, I now want to go.
Yeah.
I will go.
Can you
I'm
take me
coming
now?
with you.
Can you take me now? Yeah. He's like, nope, missed your ride, bud.
No, he
Missed your
took
ride.
me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he took me. But at the time under the ramp, because if he did it now, if he did that to me now, I'm not. I would be like, I'm taking a knee. You know what I mean? I'm like, Andrew, you know what I mean? 911, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm fucking old. I'll hold it because I'm not paying for the ambulance. I'll hold it, but we're going. I'm going right now.
Yeah,
I might
we'll go-
faint.
Yeah, I might not go in the ambulance. You take me in the car because
Right.
I want to pay the $10,000, but we're gonna go.
But then I was like,
I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
And I think about if I had it, you know, if Tiger was 21 and he knocked himself out and shattered his wrist, and I was there, I'm like, no, you're done. Why didn't someone stop me?
Because we didn't have that back
Yeah.
then. You know, I've got
I don't think you do
knocked
now.
out the first moto. Then, like, you okay? I think so. And then they let you ride. You know, I've ridden with broken jaws.
They'll
know?
stop you now, though, right?
Huh?
They'll
Yeah, oh
st-
yeah, they'll stop you now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And now it's like, did you stub your toe? Yeah. Oh, you can't ride. No, you can't.
Wait, really? No, because
It-
half of the
it-
guys are all hurt.
Well, I know, but it's just a little different world right now.
And you just said a story where you mentioned X-ray machines and shots. Does that mean that that is standing by for everybody when you're in the top 10?
Yeah. There's. I mean, they have a full. You know, they was it Alpine Star Medical Center now.
Yeah.
So they go in, they can do the X-rays and all that stuff right at the track. Figure out if there's something broken. Do concussion tests.
Wait, they have a CTE scan in
Yeah,
there?
yeah, they have.
Wow.
So
I mean,
this
makes
and
sense.
that. And then they give you. I forget the damn name of the shot, but they can give you a shot of whatever it is in your butt, and it makes everything just go numb. It
Cortisone.
doesn't. Huh?
Cortisone.
No, Toradol.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Right?
Because I was
Yeah.
getting cortisone when I was.
Yeah. No, this is Toradol or something like that. Just takes the pain straight away.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's
my,
really.
and when that race that I broke my leg, the last lap of the second moto was my fastest lap of the whole race. Like the pain, it just went away.
Wow.
Yeah,
Does,
weird.
does it come back later because you were
Oh,
rubbing a
hell.
broken leg?
Oh hell!
Okay.
Yeah.
Like when that wears off, and you all of a sudden, ah!
Oh yeah.
Right, because
When,
you
when they take the boot off, they gotta cut the boot off. Yeah.
you were jumping up and down on a broken leg. There would be
Yeah.
some.
And it's your shifter too, shifter foot.
Oh, so you're just grinding it the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. If you're listening and you're a kid, stay in school, and if you're a parent, make sure they stay in school, because it's tough out there on the streets, baby.
It's tough out there. Yeah.
It'll chew you up, spit you out. But it is cool, man. I mean, I'm really bad at it, as Ryan has said several times. But a couple times, man, I've done some shit. Give me my fucking jollies for the rest of my life. I didn't have to be that good to get that, so I love
Yeah,
Moto.
yeah. The thing is, it's not about. Everybody thinks they have to be good to have fun.
Nope.
You know, it's not about that. It's finding something you love, man. That's the biggest thing you can do. And I tell that every kid, stop worrying about being so famous and having some things. Just do something you love, because that thrill of what you get from that will never go away. If you win, you lose. If you fail, if you succeed, it's that love is then that excitement is always going to be there. And that's kind of how I live my life. I don't do anything that I don't like. If I don't like it, I don't do it. I don't care what money's behind it. I don't care what fame's behind it, because I know it's going to be a short-lived thing, or it's going to take me out of being me. And if you take me out of being me, then I'm just an asshole.
It's true, I've met that guy. At
Ryan Hughes.
Ryan at Rhino Global on Twitter and Instagram. Ryan, the RhinoInstitute.com, RhinoPowerGym.com, and RhinoEquipment.com.
Yeah.
So you got workout equipment and like supplements and everything, right?
Yeah, and rhinopower.com. And anybody's listening to this, we go if you want to go on our website to find out the best supplements around, the best all the top motocrossers, mountain bikers are using. It's rhinopower.com, and use rhinopower20, and that will get you 20% off.
I should thank Colin Morrison for being my executive producer and booking Ryan Hughes on the Jason Ellis Show. And of course, he gave me questions to ask you. And if you're listening, Colin, no, I asked the questions.
I asked the questions, not you.
Shout out to Skivvy Official, though. Thanks for being on the show, dude. What are you doing? Is there something else you
No,
need to
just
say?
making sure that because my partner sent me the code, and I'm not the best at all that
I know.
shit,
Is
so.
it the right? Did you say the right
I
code?
said Rhino Power 20, yeah.
Rhino Power 20.
20% off.
Right.
Yeah, I probably say the wrong damn thing, So we got Adam Cincerello, we have Cooper Webb, I mean it's we're We got a great line of supplements and all non-GMO organic. Pretty impressed with what we have going here.
All right. Thanks for being on the show, Duke. Always good to see you.
No, thank you very much for having me, and it's a pleasure.
We'll be back, everybody.